for Jay and for Torian, it seemed like they only had 2 really sustained drives. Just what were maybe some of the breakdowns that you saw on the sideline and on the field on those 2 long drives that led to the scores that they had?
I think the first drive of the second half, they went some tempo on us, got some easy throws. We missed a tackle, but thought we settled in pretty good. And then I think on the touchdown drive, we kind of messed up a rotation and kind of let the ball get out on us, right? And then we had a chance to stop them on third down, didn't get it done.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we played probably defensive sound football for the majority of the game, but these guys are elite players as well, so they're going to have 2 good drives at the bare minimum, because they go to University of Miami, so they recruit well as well. So they're going to make plays, they're going to have good drives, but I feel like we did a really good job at minimizing it. 10 points in the playoff game, it is what it is. We didn't score enough points, but at the same time we gave up too many points.
Going to left side middle to Sam Kahn from The Athletic.
For Coach Bateman, it seemed like their most success was in between the tackles with Fletcher. I guess what did you see that enabled them to be successful in that way?
We kind of went into the game with a little bit of a light box mentality, trying to defend some of the other things they did really well. And I think it took them a while. I think they finally hunted it up, and then we were able to credit to Torian and Damien for handling a couple of adjustments to how they were doing. They gave us a little bit more pistol back than we had seen from them. And I thought once we settled in with that, we actually did a pretty good job.
Right side front to Travis Brown from the KBTX.
Hey, Torian, how do you hope people remember this season with how it started and then also how it ended?
It's a foundation setter. We have high hopes for our team. We're in year 2, though. You got to realize that. I think Ohio State won their first championship with Ryan Day, and he's in year 8. So, college football, it's a hard world to win in, and especially win at a high level. But, this is just a start. We're in year 2. We're going to be heading into year 3. So we're going to be all right. It's a small bump in the road, but we have finally gotten to this stage. We know what it feels like. So when we get back here next year, those jitters shouldn't be how they were today.
Dalton, when you forced that fumble, how much did you feel like that could be a momentum shifter in the game?
A turnover is always a big momentum shifter. And, you want to go down and score, and that kind of would have flipped the game. But, once you get the fumble, I feel like it's just a turnover and then keep playing.
Left side middle to Tyler Shaw from KBTX.
Yeah, Torian, you talked about the trajectory going into year 3. How does the end of this season, does it feel any different? Is there a different feeling than how last year ended and how you guys ended this year?
It feels unreal for sure. And you have your first ever playoff game at Kyle Field and you drop it. It's definitely unfortunate. But like I said, there's still so much to build on top of this. We're just barely scratching the surface of who we really are going to become in the future.
Questions? Let's go to the left side again to Alex Miller.
For the 3 players that'll be returning, just what do you feel like are the biggest steps that you guys have to make this offseason to take that next step?
Keep the culture. That's a big thing. You got to keep the culture together, keep the players together, and really come back and start rebuilding just like we did last year. And keep it going, keep pushing, keep fighting, and keep everybody in it.
Yeah, piggyback off what you said. Play for each other. I feel like this year we really play for each other, and we had a lot of guys return, and we had a pretty good run this year. So I feel like going into next year we got to do the same thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not the end-all, be-all. It's unfortunate. Like, we lost the playoff game, but like I said, we still have so much to build on top of. So we're going to have a lot of returning players. We're going to be all right. Texas A&M will still be on the rise. We're still going to be up and coming. So, just got to focus on it right now, honestly. And it sucks right now, but once we get back in January and we start meeting, it's just on to the next, honestly. That's how life works.
Let's go left side to Aiden and then Mac.
Mr. York, you mentioned that there were jitters at the end of this season that you don't expect to be there next year. What do you believe contributed to those jitters this year?
This is the first time we probably played on the biggest stage. Like, this is a do or die, all or nothing type of game, So, we played in a lot of big games, but we haven't played in a game to this magnitude yet. But I don't feel like there were many jitters. It's just, it's natural. You play a big-time game. When you get out there, yeah, but when you take your first hit, it's like, all right, bet, we're playing football. So, just leading up to the game, maybe a little bit of jitters, but honestly, just the execution aspect on us is probably why we dropped the game.
Left side middle to Mac Engel from the Star Telegram.
For any of you guys, any of the players, when you have such a great start and then the ending doesn't go the way you want, obviously, do you still feel like you had a great year, or does the ending change that feeling at all?
I feel like we still had a great year. honestly. You know, I mean, this is something that hasn't been done at Texas A&M. So, I mean, we've stamped something in history forever. So, I mean, I feel like we had a great year, but, I mean, you could always build off of something knowing that you could have done more.
All right, let's go to the right side to Brian Davis from the Houston Chronicle.
For Torian and Jay, today included, especially the way the game ended, what's going to be your takeaways about the run defense as a whole and what you'd want to change if you could have changed it and how you would address it going forward in the future and then at future schools or whatever?
Well, I'll answer that question. You know, honestly, it's just more so about just like knowing who you're in the fit with. You know, like it's all about leverage, numbers and leverage. So I mean, you're tied to a certain number, a certain player. It's that type of deal. Like if you know football, you know it's all about leverage and angles. So it's that type of deal, and just communication as well. Looking back, all right, are you in the fit with me? Okay, if you're not, then who's in the fit with me? That type of deal. So it's just all about being on the same page. Like last year, it was our pass defense, and we weren't communicating well. So this year, we sharpened up on that, and then it kind of tanked our run defense. So now it's like, okay, heading into year 3, how about we communicate in the pass game and the run game, and let's see how elite can we truly be.
Let's go to the right side to Cedric from the Statesman.
Hey, Torian, what was the confidence level down the stretch? You guys are down 10-3, and Marcel's leading the offense down the field. What was your confidence level? Did you guys feel like you were getting ready for overtime?
Oh, for sure. Like, you know, we had 1:50 left probably. Well, how much do we have? 2 minutes and 1:44. So it's like we work 2-minute drill every Wednesday against the offense. So we know like they had a good offensive drill against us this past Wednesday. So we have faith in the offense for sure. But at the end of the day, like that's out of our control. Like all we can do is hope and pray that we go down there and score a touchdown to tie it up to go into overtime. So like, yeah, like we got scored on, but we gave them time back to get the ball and go execute a 2-minute drill. And it just didn't go our way. So that's just how it went.
Left side, Aaron from SI.
For Jay, obviously your last season here ended sooner than you likely expected, but what do you think's the biggest takeaway that you'll have from your time here in College Station as you move on?
I think the biggest takeaway I'll take is the ability to coach these players and how fortunate I am to coach the guys I've been able to coach here. This is a great place and a lot of great players coming back.
Left side to Matthew from the Dallas Morning News.
For all 3 of the players, what is the conversation like when you guys are in a close game like this, considering you guys have been in close games this season?
I would say do your job. Like, I mean, it's not a secret. As long as you do your job, you're 111th. Like, the defense will be executed how it's supposed to be executed. So that would probably say it's that short and simple.
Yeah, our leaders on the team, they always preach do your job. He always says DYJ in the huddles and stuff like that. So, same thing, do your job.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, keep it going. Like, once you do your job, keep doing your job the whole game. Don't make it one play. Keep the same focus, keep the same intensity the whole time.
All right, let's go second row to Kirk Bowles from the Houston Chronicle, and then Carter.
Jay, can you speak to, kind of holding off the dam? They were in y'all's territory a lot, especially in the second half, and then to their touchdown. Tony, I know they got him involved in a lot of ways, but did that play catch you off guard, thinking maybe they would run to set up a field goal?
We ran that exact same play on Thursday afternoon. I think we were ready for it. I think that kid's a really good player. They kind of got us blocked, changed the perimeter a little bit, and cracked on Dalton, and it just the kid. Look, I mean, I think we did as good a job on that kid as anybody in the country's done against him this year. I think there were a couple of times we got they got some short fields, and the way we responded I thought was awesome. I think they had missed 3 field goals. I think we were able to hold them, and I think that was the story of the game going into the final final 10 minutes or so.
Right side front to Carter Carrolls from 247.
Torian, a couple for you. Just first, have you made a decision yet on whether you're coming back or going to the NFL?
Yeah, that's probably going to be. It's just I've never been through something like this before. Honestly, nobody in my family has ever been to the NFL, so we really don't know the ins and outs about it. But that's what this week is for. And when we get back from Christmas, I'm sure we'll meet about it again. So it's just gonna pray to God. Honestly, He's gonna lead me in the right direction. But who knows what the future holds for Torian York.
And if you do come back, what gives you confidence that in your last year here you'd be able to be back here and kind of sustain the success y'all had this season?
Because I trust Coach Elko. I really do trust him. I trusted him since I met him when I was 15 years old. So everything he's told me he was going to do, he's made it happen. So I'd probably just leave it at that. Just my trust in Coach Elko, ultimately.
All right. Oh, we'll have one more from Alex Miller. Wrap us up.
For Torian and Dalton, I know you guys are really close with Marcel. Just what'd you maybe say to him in the locker room after today's game, and just maybe the biggest areas of growth you've seen from him overall this season?
I'll go first, George. I told him honestly, it's over now. You know, keep your head up. You can't beat yourself up about it once it's over. I mean, once it's over, it's over. So I told him, you know, don't beat yourself up about it. And then, like, well, I live with him. So once we get home, we'll talk about it. We'll talk it out, see what we could have done better on both sides of the ball. And then that's really how we do after every game. And, you know, like, this one will be much different. You know, we'll both be down about it. But, you know, I always try to keep him up in good spirits because he runs this whole thing. So if I could keep him up, I feel like I could keep the whole program up.
Yeah, we're basically neighbors. You know, they live together, and I live right down the street. So, you know, we spend a lot of time together. So, after the game, I just told him I love him. You know, I know you did your best. You know, it didn't go our way. We didn't win the game, but it ain't like you weren't out there trying. It ain't like you were throwing the game away on purpose. You know, it just didn't go our way. It wasn't our time yet. That type of deal. We just gotta learn from it, man. You gotta remember how it feels. Like, this is a terrible feeling. Like, you know, thought Texas loss hurt. Like, this one hurt times 10 because it's at home. So yeah, just words of encouragement for sure. Just, you know, give him a hug, tell him I love him, and just we'll be back.
All right, that's a wrap. Thanks, guys.